Hey guys, welcome to the third episode of the King Lincoln Show. Today I'm gonna keep talking about my shitty fucking childhood. I'm gonna tell you a bit more about my mom and some stuff that went on with my mom and some fucked up stuff she did and some shit that, yeah, went down that kind of affected me. This is probably gonna sound really gay and complainy, but fuck it, it's my show. This is what I feel like talking about. Um, so when I was a kid, like a really little kid, like probably like 4, 5, 6. I don't remember when they stopped. Maybe yeah, I just kept having them, but I had them from really young, like 4, 5, 6, that kind of age. I used to get these really bad headaches. They were like migraine headaches. And I don't know why I got them. I don't know whether it was because of like stress in our household. I don't know if it was because like there was something wrong with my diet or something wrong with my fucking brain. I don't really know. But I used to get these crazy painful headaches when I was a little kid. And I was a little kid, so like I was really not good at handling that pain. Like really, really, really fucking hurt. It hurt for a long, long ass fucking time, and it really stressed me out because I was a little kid. So basically, when I got these headaches, like all I could do was lay in the dark in my bed, and I would literally be clutching my head and like gritting my teeth and just staying in the same position. Like I would try not to even move like a single muscle because it would fucking hurt so much. Like as soon as I moved, there would be like a pang of pain in my head that was just like unbearable. Um, I don't know, like if I had that kind of headache now as an adult, maybe it wouldn't be as big a deal. But back then I just remember it fucking hurt so fucking much and I couldn't handle it. So I would just be in bed in the dark, gritting my teeth, like clutching my hands to my forehead, just trying not to move like a single muscle. And my mom would, I think she would give me Panadol or Nurofen or something. And she would also give me a flannel to put on my head. I don't know how the fuck a flannel helps, but she would like get like a cold flannel. Like she'd wet a flannel. If you know what a flannel is, it's like a fucking little towel. And she'd put cold water on it, and then I stick it on my forehead. But what I wanted was I wanted my mom to stay with me in the room. I wanted her to like lay down with me. Like, remember I'm a little kid. I'm like 3, like 4, 5, 6 years old, little kid. And I wanted her to just like, I guess, stay there and make me feel safe and shit. Um, because I was a little kid and I was in pain and all that. But she wouldn't. Like she'd stay there for a little while and then she'd go. Then she'd leave. And I would be like trying to get her not to leave, but she would still fucking go. And this is little kid stuff, right? So maybe that is reasonable. Like looking back, maybe that's reasonable. You can't fucking lay there all fucking day with this little kid who has a headache. But from my perspective, it was like she didn't really like care about me. Like it's like there was other shit that was more important than me. And don't forget, this is me as a little kid, 4, 5, 6 years old. Um, and then I would just like she would like leave or whatever, and then I would hear people from the kitchen, like my mom and my sisters and stuff, just like talking and laughing and like carrying on and just like being totally normal. And I was there literally curled up in pain as like a little kid. Um, I couldn't even move. I was just like gritting my teeth, like scrunching up my eyes, pressing my hands or pressing this fucking like pointless wet flannel to my head, like trying not to move because I'd get another fucking pang of pain. It's just so fucking bad. And this shit went on for years. The weird thing is, like, no one ever, as far as I remember, no one was like, we should find out what's wrong with this kid, why he keeps getting these headaches. Maybe they did. Maybe I've forgotten and they took me to the doctor or something, but they never figured it out. And I don't actually remember anyone trying to figure it out other than just giving me Panadol and a fucking flannel. But yeah, I don't remember anyone being like, oh my God, he gets such fucking bad migraines. Let's take him to the doctor in the hospital and fucking figure out what's wrong with him. I don't remember that happening, but it was a long time ago. Maybe that did happen and I forgot. So, but anyway, even if they tried, they never succeeded. They never persisted and succeeded to find out what was wrong with me. Because I used to get these all the time and I got them for fucking years. I don't remember how old I was when they stopped. But yeah, eventually I guess I stopped getting them. But yeah, my whole time as like a little kid, I would get these like fairly regularly. And yeah, it just felt like no one really gave a fuck about me because I was in so much pain. My mom would stay there for a while and then she would, I guess, get bored or whatever, have shit to do. And she would just get up and leave me. And they'd all be talking and laughing, like being totally normal, having a good time in the kitchen. And I would just be stuck there in pain. And I really do think that fucked me up like that. I don't know if this sounds gay and complaining or whatever, but I reckon those repeated experiences kind of fucked me up and taught me like you're not that important, like you don't matter. No one really gives that much of a fuck about you. I reckon that it impressed that on me as a little kid. So yeah, that was pretty bad. And the headaches themselves, they fucking hurt so much. Like, I was just in agony all the time. Like, not all the time, but when I got those, I was in fucking agony. Like, couldn't even move. I just remember it's just like throbbing headaches. And like, if you even like move, if you even like twist or move, like even move a muscle in the bed, you get this like shoot of pain, like this pang of pain in your head. Oh fuck, it's just the worst. So yeah, that's one thing with my mom. I mean, I guess it is stupid in hindsight. With an adult brain, I can tell, yeah, it is stupid. Like, how was she supposed to lay there like all fucking day until your headache's better? Like, she is just a mom and like she doesn't have a job or whatever, but I'm sure she has shit to do. But yeah, it's just like, well, that shit is more important than me. Like, that's not a good feeling as a little kid who doesn't have like a fully rational brain or whatever yet. Um, so I was super attached to my mom, and I'm just trying to remember, but I think she used to like sleep in my bed until I fell asleep when I was like maybe 2, 3, maybe 4 years old. I can't really remember, but I think she did from memory. Like she would like sleep in my bed until I like fell asleep or whatever. And I was like super attached to her, super super attached. And I mean, it's pretty obvious that was probably because of my crazy dad. He was like the only person who could protect me. Cause like I was in this fucking fucked up household with this crazy dad who was like shouting and making threats and stuff all the time. I think as a little kid, you think like this person legitimately might beat the daylights out of me, beat the crap out of me, like he kept claiming he could do or he might do, or he could actually fucking kill me, even though he never actually ended up doing any of that. Like he would like claim he was going to. He would claim he could, and he definitely acted like he was about to, like a lot of the time. So I think that made me like super, super attached to my mom. And like, yeah, I just wanted her around all the time and I never really felt safe. Like, how the fuck can you feel safe like with that shit going on? So I remember this one time, like, I have this really vivid memory of when she took me to playgroup. I don't know how old you are when you go to playgroup, but I think it's like hella young. Like, it must be like preschool, I think, is when you're 4 or 5. So this must be when you're 3 or 4 or something like that. I don't 100% remember what the deal was with playgroup, but I think like when you first start going there, the mums stay and then like they kind of wean you off your mum. Um, like at a certain point, the mums like come and hang out for a bit and then they leave and you're just there with like the teacher and the kids or whatever. I think that's how it works. But yeah, I remember like it must have been the first time she left or had to leave or something. And I like was like petrified of her leaving. And I have like this vivid memory of like all the kids were just like sitting on the mat, like in front of the teacher. They were probably gonna read a story or sing a song or some fucking gay kid shit. And my mom was leaving, and I was just like, don't leave, don't leave. And as she was like leaving and like trying to leave, or maybe just after she left, there were these stacks of chairs like along the wall. There's like these like chairs that are all stacked up. And I was literally hiding underneath the chairs. And I was so scared. I was like a little fucking mouse. And I was just like crying, like terrified, like hugging my knees, like curled up underneath these chairs. And the teacher was like, "Oh, you want to come out? You want to come out and like read a story? You want to hear stories? Sit with the other kids?" And I just remember thinking, I mean, I didn't know these words at the time, but I just remember thinking, like, you gotta be fucking crazy. I'm not coming out there. Like, I may have even thought like she was trying to trick me, like she was evil and she was trying to trick me into coming out. I don't know about that, but I was just like, no fucking way. There's no way I'm coming out there. And she was just like, oh, you want to come read a story, sit on the mat with the other kids? I was like, fuck off, lady. No way. I'm staying underneath the chairs. And I was so mad at my mom. I was so confused and scared and just like so mad at my mom. Just like, how could she? Like, how could she leave me? Just fucking leave me with these strangers. Like, we can't trust these people. We don't know who the fuck these people are. Like, I just like remember, yeah, just this sense of like dread and confusion and like anger and betrayal and just like helplessness and despair. I was just like, how could she leave me? And looking back with an adult brain, obviously that's fucking stupid. It's just fucking playgroup. You just read stories and eat fucking little cut up bits of fruit and shit. Play with fucking Play-Doh. There's nothing wrong. I mean, maybe once in a while there's some fucking pedophile there or some shit. But for the most part, it's just fucking playgroup. Can't get over it. You don't need your mom there every fucking second. But at the time, as a little fucking kid with this fucking toxic, crazy dad, who, like, my mom was the only thing I felt was even trying to keep me safe. That's how I felt at the time. And yeah, that type of shit really fucked me up, I would say. I mean, it's fucked up already that all the other kids were just like sitting there listening to the story or whatever. And I remember them all like turning around and kind of like looking at me with their like gay, wide eyes. Stop fucking looking at me, cunt. And they're all like, I was like, how can you people just be sitting there? Like, how can you be so calm? How can you be so like just fine in this situation? And I was just like hiding under the fucking chairs. I don't know, it was stupid. But anyway, just wanted to tell that story. Um, Yeah, so this is also probably gonna sound really dumb. I guess I'm trying to explain some of my issues and some of my fucking like confidence issues and abandonment issues and stuff. But like when I used to like go to school or whatever, and like my mom would pick me up from school, like I know some kids walk to school or go on the bus or whatever. I live really far away from my school, so yeah, my mom used to pick me up. And that was pretty normal. Like where I live, that's pretty normal. Like some people go on the bus and shit, but for the most part, like people's moms would like or parent would like pick them up from school. And yeah. So we would like wait. We'd have like a spot we would wait, and some of my friends and stuff would like wait, and we'd like, chat and muck around and shit after school while we waited for our moms to pick us up. And a lot of people, their mom was like already there when the fucking school ended. And some people, they wait 10, 15 minutes and then their mom will be there like, oh, bye, see ya. But our mom would sometimes be fucking like over an hour, like hours to pick us up. Like, I don't know if you think this sounds like a gay, like shitty little complaint. Like, fuck off, cunt. Like, who cares? I think it affected me, okay, as a kid. This is shit that affected me as a kid. That is our topic for today or whatever. So, um, yeah, so I think our school ended at like 3 or like 3:20 or 3:30 or something. Sometimes it'd be like 5 or like even 5:30 or some shit until she finally came and picked us up. Uh, so I was just like kind of like waiting, like getting kind of hungry and cold, being like, where the fuck is my mom? Um, yeah, like waiting to get picked up from school. And we're supposed to wait in this particular spot. But sometimes I would get so fucking bored because I'd be waiting there for like an hour and a half or whatever. It started to, maybe I'm exaggerating this in my mind, but it started to feel like it was getting towards like evening. Like it was heading towards nighttime. I was still at this fucking school. No one was there anymore. Um, but sometimes I get really bored and I would like traipse around the school. I would leave the spot where I was like supposed to get picked up and I traipse around the school. And then when my mom finally did come and pick us up, like she would have to find me or whatever, and she'd be really mad. But it doesn't really make sense because it's like, bitch, you shouldn't have fucking taken like an hour and a half. You shouldn't have come an hour and a half or whatever, or like 2 hours or some shit after the fucking school ended. I'm supposed to like just stand in this one spot where everyone else has gone home and just like fucking stand there. Um, and this is before everyone had like phones and shit. You couldn't just like play on your phone or some shit. I was just sitting there bored with like a school bag with some fucking school books in it all. Actually, I don't even know. You don't really take anything to school when you're in primary school, do you? Fucking lunchbox. I don't know. Fucking nothing. um, yeah. So I think that it contributed to like abandonment issue type things. It's like you don't really matter very much. You're not very important. Your mom can't even be fucked picking you up at the right time from school. And I just wonder like why couldn't she get there on time? And what the fuck was she doing? Cause she didn't even have a job. Like what? Literally, what the fuck are you doing? Were you cheating on my dad? Nah, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I think she just lost track of time. She's doing like fucking washing or some shit. But she used to work as a primary teacher. I think when my oldest sister was a kid, I think maybe she still worked as a primary teacher for some time, but then she quit and she was just a mom. Like the whole time we were growing up, she was just a mom. So yeah, and I did have some kind of adventures and stuff happen like while waiting to get picked up. It was like it was so much time that it was like a proper category of my life, like waiting to get picked up. But I can tell you about that another time. Um, yeah. So there was another kind of fucked up thing in our family. I think it might be called triangulation in kind of psychology speak. But basically what it is like, well, how what it was for me was like, you know how I said like I kind of trusted my mom, like she was the only person who could like have a chance of keeping me safe from my dad type thing. So when I got a bit older, and I'm not even talking like a lot older, just still being a kid, but I could like talk and I actually had shit to say and stuff. I would tell stuff to my mom. I don't remember what the fuck I would tell her. I guess it was just normal kid stuff or stuff I'd done. I actually really don't remember. But I would tell her, and I would kind of tell her in confidence, like, it's just you and me. I'm just telling you this, whatever it was. And I really don't remember what it could have been at that age. But what I didn't realize, what I only gradually realized was everything that I would tell her, she would tell my dad. And I think some of it might have been like that I had shit to say about our dad. Like, he would have done something really terrible and I would like be saying how bad it was or something. And probably, just other general shit too. But what would happen would be I would tell her, I would talk to her about it. I would kind of trust her with it or whatever, with my little kid like secrets and goings on or whatever. And then she would tell all of it to my dad, whereas it was supposed to be just between me and her. And even if you explicitly asked her, look, don't tell anyone this. This is just between you and me. She would say yes. She would nod her head. She'd be like, yeah, yeah, no worries. She would still fucking tell him, no matter what you would say. And eventually, when I figured this out and I got a bit older, I just stopped talking to her. I just stopped telling her anything. Anything important, I wouldn't tell her. And I just didn't really talk to anyone pretty much about anything. Nothing important. Like I wouldn't tell anything that was going on with me. I just didn't tell anyone. I didn't talk to anyone about it. Not my dad, no way. Not my mom. And not really any of my sisters or anyone really. I would just keep it to myself. Like that shit happening when I was a kid kind of taught me that. And other shit too that I talked about before. It just taught me like keep to yourself and keep everything to yourself, and people aren't gonna help you and you can't really trust anyone. But anyway, with this like telling my dad everything thing, what would happen would be I would hear it from him, like I'd hear it out of his mouth in a distorted form later on. And he would be like, well, the other day you said this and you said that you did this. And I'll be like, wait a second, how did he hear about that? Like, how did he know about that? And then I was like, oh, fuck, I told my mom. And then my mom told him, like, why the fuck would she do that? But it wouldn't be the real version of what I said. It'd be a fucked up version. Like, she had interpreted it a certain way, and then she'd told him, and he'd got it all fucked up in his head, and he had partial information about like exactly what happened or whatever, or what I said. And then he'd say it back to me in a fucked up version. And I'll be like, that's not what I fucking said. That's not what happened at all. And you might be thinking like, oh, so fucking what? That's not that bad. I really do think that fucked me up as a kid. Like, this was happening when I was a kid. Like, when you kind of learn to talk and have shit to say as a kid, probably like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like around that age, your brain and your mind is still forming, and I really do think that really fucked me. Like, it's like, holy shit, like there's nowhere to turn. You can't trust anything. You can't trust anyone, Like, I don't know if this sounds like just majorly like fucking complaining and stupid, but compare that to having like some adult, it could be your mom or your dad or like your auntie or your grandpa or someone, anyone who you can confide in and trust and stuff, and who actually has good advice and opinions and stuff, not just shit about like God and Jesus and all this religious bullcrap. So, you can't have everything in life. I know, like, boo hoo, woe is me. But yeah, just telling you shit that happened with me anyway. So, yeah. So, our household was really weird. Like, it's really difficult to explain how and why exactly. But it was like a form of like evil magic. It's like a form of dark magic. It's this toxic environment where nothing makes sense anymore. And you grew up there, you have nothing to compare it to. But as you like go to other places and stuff, you start figuring out that when you're there, you can't even think straight. Like it's like a evil magic realm where it fucks with your mind. Like it makes your mind all fuzzy and distorted, and you can't even think straight, and you don't know what's true or untrue or like right or wrong or reasonable or unreasonable anymore. It fucks with your brain. Um, and my sister, like, I won't tell you like too much like personal stuff about her because like that's her shit to decide if she wants out there. But at certain times, she was having a hard time, like when she was a bit older, like already moved out and stuff, and like she was thinking, oh, do I need to move back in for a bit or something? Like maybe when she was having issues with like her jobs and different stuff like that. But she was just always like, no way, there's no way I'm going back to that place. Like it felt like, yeah, an evil magic world or like a war zone or like a place with like radioactive like fallout or something. Like once you're there, you're trapped there because you can't even think straight to get out because like it does something to your brain. It fucks up your brain somehow. Just like this like evil kind of atmosphere, this toxic, maybe evil is a bit strong, but this toxic atmosphere seeps into you and fucks with your brain and makes it so you like your ideas don't even make sense anymore. I don't know if that makes sense to you. I don't know if that like makes any sense at all, but this is a real experience of mine. Like that's how it felt. It's like I don't know like what it is, like beyond the shouting and like arguments and threats and secrets and triangulation and carrying on. It's like maybe it's just the cumulative effect of all that, but it's like there's something deeper underneath, like underneath the surface that like gets into your brain, gets into your bones, and just like fucks you up from the inside out. There's some kind of like dark presence here that's like fucking you. I don't mean that literally. I'm not saying it like it's some fucking ghost or some shit. It's a fucking metaphor. But anyway, but yeah. So I'll tell you one more story to round this type of shit off. I got more stuff to say about my gay ass childhood, but I'll tell you this one story to round this part off, like about my mom and all that. So when I was growing up, as I said, my parents were super religious about Christianity and all that type of crap. And we had something called devotions. And devotions is like you have this little book that like it's like a little Christian booklet thing for kids. And it has like Bible verses you read and like a little story you read and stuff that has some kind of Christian message, for kids and adolescents. So you're supposed to do it every evening. And my mom or my dad will always be like, have you done your devotions? And I'll be like, Fucking yes, I done my gay ass devotions. So fucking lame. Anyway, so one night, one evening, I think there must have been like some really bad argument or blow up or something. So my mum was in like a super fucking foul mood. Um, and I was just laying on my bed. I think I was in boxer shorts. I used to wear like silk boxer shorts and maybe a t-shirt or something. I don't know, but it's kind of like that, kind of in underwearish, like pajama-ish kind of attire. I was laying on my bed and I was kind of like almost time for bed or whatever. I can't remember exactly how old I was, but probably like, I don't know, maybe between 9 and 11, like maybe around that age, something like that, or maybe younger. I'm not exactly sure, but I had done my fucking gay ass fucking devotions already, right? And my mum comes in and she's like in a foul mood and she's like, "Have you done your devotions?" And I had done my devotions, but I wanted to do a little joke, and I just go, "No, oh wait, no, that's not what happened, because that wouldn't make sense. What happened was she goes, she came in and told me to do my devotions. She's like, Lincoln, do your devotions. And I'd already done them. So I wanted to make a little joke. And I was like, I just go, no, because I'd already done them. Because I wanted her next question to be like, why not? And I'd be like, oh, I've already done them. Snap, haha. Like, that's my idea of a joke at that age or whatever. But that's not what happened. She goes, Lincoln, do your devotions. And I like smile and I go, no, because I was about to say, because I already done them. I didn't get to say that because she was holding a butter knife. Like she was holding it by the blade. So she had like the butt, like the end of the knife, the handle of the knife pointing like outwards. And she just starts fucking wailing on me with this fucking butter knife, just like fucking cracking my legs with like handle of this butter knife. And she's like, don't you say no to me. And she's like hitting me on the legs with this fucking butter knife. And I'm like squirming, trying to get away. And she's just like fucking wailing on me with this thing. And I'm like, I start like screaming and crying and I fucking piss myself. So maybe I was a bit younger, like maybe 7, 8, I don't know, but she was fucking wailing on me with this fucking knife, being like, don't you say no to me. And I fucking pissed myself all over the fucking bed. And I'm like screaming and crying, like tears streaming down my face. And I'm like, Mom, I was about to explain to you, I've already done them. And this shit was supposed to be a joke. Like what I thought was going to happen next was like a funny punchline. No, not a funny punchline. Fucking getting fucking wailed on with the end of a fucking butter knife. And I had fucking bruises all over my legs and shit from that. And once I said, like, explained it, she was like, just like, caught her breath. She was like, oh, okay then. And I don't really remember what happened after that. I don't remember I think she just left. I think she just went away. I don't really remember if she apologized, if she said anything. I don't remember if she changed my pissy sheets or whatever. I don't remember, but yeah, that was pretty fucked up. And don't you think it's fucked up that my dad was such a fucking nut job, but he technically never actually laid a hand on me in that way, not in a really violent way. My mom was way less of a nut job. She was just really fucking suppressed and kind of dejected for the most part. And she's the one who beat the crap out of me with a fucking butter knife. And that shit was really fucked up. Because like I said, like I just been explaining this whole time, I was so attached to my mom and it was like she was in that house and growing up, she was the only chance of me being kept safe, like from my dad, like in a practical sense. And I guess just psychologically from life, like she was the only thing that was like, had any chance in my mind of keeping me safe. And now she was the danger. She was the one fucking me up with a fucking metal weapon implement. So yeah. So I always remembered that shit, obviously. And much later, when I had some other even more major problems, which I'll tell you about another time, I went to a psychologist and she was a fucking shitty psychologist. But one of the things she got me to do was, I can't remember what the topic or question was exactly, but it's like draw a picture of something. For some reason, I had to draw a picture of something traumatizing or some shit like that. And this is what I drew a picture of. I drew a picture of my mom screaming at me, beating the crap out of my legs with the end of this butter knife, and me pissing myself all over my bed. So you can't say that's just fucking complaining. That's a fucking traumatizing moment. So yeah, on this happy, cheery note, I guess I'll end the episode here. That's some shit about my fucked up, shitty childhood. Again, yes, I know other people have it way worse than me. I know because I've met them, I've heard about it and shit. But this is some shit I wanted to talk about with you, about some of my shitty ass fucking childhood stories. And I am going to move on from this topic, but yeah, that's what I felt like talking about today. So I hope you enjoyed it. If enjoyed is the right word, just some shit I really had to get out. I don't know. I just, maybe this is helping me process this shit or something after all these years. I don't know. But yeah. So yeah, thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you again next time.